Hi everybody, Julian here to share a brand new Bible journaling process video with you guys. Today I'm going to be doing day 2 in the Rise Up devotional written by Kristen Walbeck from Illustrated Faith and Dayspring. So I am in Acts 1 and I have all of the kit contents here in front of me, including some things that I pulled from my stash that I may or may not use, some puffy crosses and some mini hexies. This entry and this day is all about being a witness for Christ, and so I want to spell out the word witness on the page. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I'm hoarding these black alpha stickers. So instead of using these today, I'm going to go ahead and use a stamp set. This is from Purkey. It is no longer available, but she does have a ton of different alpha stamps on her website, kellypurkeyshop.com. I'll link it below. So I'm going to hold on to the black alphas a little bit longer since I'm only on day 2, and I'm going to go ahead and use these guys instead. I'm pretty much going to stick to the kit contents other than that, and then I do plan on using, now that I think about it, some Neocolor water-soluble crayons that I picked up from my local art supply store. And so I want to do some kind of like a watercolor wash, just really trying to imitate the look of the art in this kit here. So I've got orange, purple, this is salmon, and this is golden yellow. So those are the 4 colors I'm going to be using. I'll list everything down in the description below if you see something and kind of want more information about it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get started. I've got my trusty Bible mat here, and I'm not sure if these crayons bleed through. I actually have been putting down a base of white acrylic paint before I paint on the pages. Not to prep it, but just because I'm not sure what's going to happen on the other side. So I think what I'm going to do is just go for it and see how these guys turn out on an unprepped page. I keep a little jar of clean water on my desk for when I'm painting, oh boy, so that I don't have to run to the kitchen. So for my palette today, I'm going to use some packaging. So let's see, I'm going to get my inspiration out here and just get started. So I'm simply going to color the crayon onto the plastic packaging here, and I just went ahead and put all 4 colors down. I am going to pull in a red here. I think this is called ruby red, and then I put my brush in some water and then swirl the crayon around, and it's really easy, and I like making use of what would otherwise be trash. I sped up the video really quickly here because I'm just putting paint down. I wish I had used a bigger brush. I think I would have got the effect I was looking for, but I just very timidly started painting and then drawing each layer in between. So I went in with the yellow first and then with the orange, and I didn't realize until I got them on the page how similar they were in color, but once I added the pink I really started to like the way that it looked, and then I added a little bit of this ruby red in here also. And I'm just applying the heat tool to dry each layer. Okay, so while this is very pretty, I'm not really getting the effect that I want. I feel like the colors are much more vibrant when the page is prepped, or when there's some acrylic paint on the page. They're not as vibrant as I would like them. So what I'm going to do to help this a bit, I'm going to go ahead and get some of my distress inks that I know will bleed through the page. Like I said, I'm not really concerned about that because of what's on the back here is just all this extra room and John. So I'm going to go ahead, clean off the little palette here, and then put some distress inks down and pick them up and apply them the same way just to make it a little more vibrant. So I want a little more orange, a little more red, and a lot of pink, just in case that's too much. So I'm going to go ahead and use the distress inks the same way. I smush a little bit of the ink pad down on the plastic and then swirl it around with some water, pick it up with the brush, and then put it down on the page. Because distress inks react with water every single time that they get wet, it's going to kind of reactivate the color a little bit. So I'm just putting paint down on the page just in little sections, and I really liked the way that the pink mixed with the yellow. I feel like that achieved the look in the kit that I was going for. And then I'm just going to work my way towards the binding Be very careful if you do this not to get your binding wet. I did and had to sop up some of the color, but it wasn't a big deal. Fortunately, I had that heat tool to help me out. Next, I am taking my black watercolors, getting the pan really wet, and then dipping my brush in there and splattering it around on the page. That was the most fun part. Now I'm going to the stamps in the kit, and my absolute favorite stamp in the kit are these little stars that are hanging by strings, and I have a little bit of extra room up at the top because it's the beginning of the book of Acts, and I'm just going to stamp that a couple times down at the top of the page just because I like them. Thought about doing it a third time and decided to restrain myself. I figured I could always go back and add more. Next, I'm going to pull out the Kelly Purkey stamps and stamp out the word witness. I ended up doing it on 2 lines because I knew that it would cover the verse that I was journaling if I went straight across. And I don't really like the way that that looks anyway. So just getting each letter down, and I'm aligning it on the left to make sure that I can fit all the letters on the page instead of maybe starting in the middle and working my way out. I'm starting with the first letter on the left again so that I can make sure that I have enough room. So the verse that I'm journaling here is Acts 1:8, and Jesus says to his disciples, "You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, and in all Judea and Samaria, and to the end of the earth." So in the devotional, Kristen starts off by defining the word witness, and she has it defined as one who sees an event, evidence of proof, or to testify to. She goes on to say, it's evident that Christ's instruction to the disciples was not to verbally defend their faith. God is calling them and us to dig deeper than just verbal affirmations. Our lives are to be the evidence. Our attitudes are the proof. And so that got me thinking, people should notice something different about us before we even tell them that we're Christians, based on how we act. We're doing a Fruits of the Spirit study at church, and so my mind is kind of like thinking about these things through that filter. And when we're displaying those fruits of the Holy Spirit, people are going to notice that. Being nice to people who are not nice to us, loving people who are rude to us, that is countercultural, and that's how we can be a witness for Him, not just in our words, but in our actions especially. So I had pulled out some washi tape that I knew I wanted to use with this kit. I put it in the front of my devotional booklet here, and I wanted to use some of that on this page. I put a couple of things on top of it. These 2 yellow mini hexes. One says shine and the other one says his love. And then what's really funny is while I'm doing this entry, I've stamped the word witness down, and fun fact, my husband, when I met him, was in a Christian rock / metal band. He sang in the band, and they had a song called Witness, and so as soon as I stamped that down, I couldn't get the lyrics of that song out of my head, so I ended up writing them down in the margin. I'm going to play a little bit for you in the outro of this video so you can hear it, but I wrote, "I am a witness to the Holy Lamb, the one who is I am, the God of Abraham. And on account of him I am made whole again. He is the great I am, the God of Abraham." And then I put a little more washi down on the bottom, layered it on top with a pink cross, a mini hexie, and then I'm looking on the sticker sheet here to put just one more thing down. I like to do things in 3s, and that includes clustering things in odd numbers. And just going in with the pen here and outlining everything in black just to make it, a little more cohesive. To wrap up my journaling, I drew a few more lines down there, and I just wrote a little prayer that says, "Lord, help my life, my actions to be a reflection of your goodness." So I've got the 2 spots of black and white striped washi tape there, and I really wanted to put it in a 3rd place. So I decided to go ahead and put a tab at the top of this page. So I used the stamp backer and fussy cutting here the little arrow that says witness, and I'm just going to washi tape that to the top of the page and top it off with an orange puffy cross. And then that's it. So here is a finished look at the page along with a couple of close-ups. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or just want to say hello, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll see you next week for a brand new Bible journaling process video. See you then.
I am a witness to the Holy Lamb, the one who is I am. the God of Abraham. And on account of him, I am made whole again. He is the great I am, the God of Abraham. I am a witness to the Holy Lamb, the one who is I